I'm here with Andres Rodriguez, and we're here at UDS in Budapest, and we're going to talk a little bit about power management with the Ubuntu server. So, first of all, can you tell viewers a little bit about what you do at Canonical?
Well, I'm Canonical, as Amber said, I'm part of the Ubuntu Server team, and I'm currently working in the high availability cluster stack and in a tool which is called PowerNap, which is what we like to call a power management tool for servers and machines in general. Um, PowerNap, as we like to call it, is a screensaver for servers, except it doesn't actually save your screen, but rather it saves money on your energy bill. PowerNap is a tool that was created by Dustin Kirkland, an Ubuntu server developer as well. He created it as part of the Eucalyptus Cloud at first, but it actually evolved during the last cycle, and it became a powerful monitoring tool for power saving. What this tool actually does is basically monitors every single piece on a server, on a machine, such as keyboard, mouse, or processes doing disk I/O and things like that, or network activity and various pieces of the software and hardware within a server, to be able to determine when a server or a machine is in an idle state. Once the machine is considered as in an idle state and there's no activity for a certain period of time, then we can determine that that machine is inactive, and then PowerNap takes an action. This action is the one that is allowing us to perform or to obtain a lower power consumption. And within these actions we have an action which is called power save, another one is suspension, regular suspension, hibernation, and powering off of a server. What is interesting here is that this action, power save, it's an action that actually tweaks the hardware in certain ways so that we are able to save power within the hardware without actually having to turn off our machines or servers.
Yeah, I don't think it's really good to be turning on and off servers, so we want to try to avoid that at all costs, if I'm correct on that assumption. Now, how did PowerNap come? How did it evolve? You mentioned Dustin. How did it evolve? How long did it take to get into Ubuntu? And then what is it looking like going into the 11.10 cycle and even into 12.04 for the LTS release?
So Dustin at first created to be integrated with the Eucalyptus Cloud with UAC specifically, and what it did basically is just monitor what a simple process, a process that is always in the machine running, which is init, and it was a dumb daemon that actually only waited for another piece from the Eucalyptus cluster to tell him, do this, do that, or power off, or wake up, or things like that. So, but it actually was a bit more than that, because Dustin created it in a way that it was able to monitor processes within the machine, and if the process was not seen, or for example we were running a desktop application such as Weaver, and then we closed Weaver, then PowerNap will determine that Weaver was not running anymore. So what it will do after a certain period of time, it will take the machine to a lower power state. So I took over the project as one of my last course projects when I was studying to obtain my master's, and what I did then is create this power save method. This power save method actually runs a conjunction of scripts that tweaks the hardware in different pieces, and then tries to lower the usage of electricity within servers or regular laptops. I also integrated, and we created along with Dustin, a set of monitors, and those monitors actually extended the usage of PowerNap, not only monitoring processes, but actually monitoring stuff which is much more complex, such as load, such as network connections, and various other pieces. And that landed in Ubuntu completely after the first 3 months of the development cycle for NATI, and is currently in the main archive.
Since you said the project was originally developed for Eucalyptus, and as Robbie announced, OpenStack is now going to be default going forward, I assume that this power management now works well and is integrated well into OpenStack as well.
Not really. Actually, this is one of the things that we would like to achieve for the next release cycle, or even 12.04. Actually, a couple weeks ago in the Openstack Design Summit, Chuck Short presented the idea of PowerNap, and some of the developers within Openstack like the idea of integrating PowerNap. So that's one of the features that we would like to achieve in this cycle. And we would also like to achieve other features such as being able to do a client-server approach with PowerNap, so that we have servers tracking PowerNap machines, and this server will know what's happening with the other machines and how much power are they saving, or what things are running into and things like that. And doing this will allow us to provide an API to be able to be used with OpenStack, and that's our goal for this cycle.
That's an amazing goal. Since we're only on day 3 of UDS, what so far has been the highlight of UDS for you?
From my point of view, I think it was OpenStack and Orchestra, definitely. Orchestra is a nice project that is going to revolutionize the way how we deploy Ubuntu Server in general. And I believe some of my teammates have already discussed this a little bit in further detail.
And for the next cycle, with 11.10 and then into the LTS, what are you looking forward? What's other than the goal you've already listed? What are you looking most forward to in the future?
In Ubuntu Server in particular, well, I really look forward to be able to actually set ourselves within the cloud, providing both cloud stacks, and also I really hope we dominate the deployment scenarios with Orchestra. And I think that those things are gonna push up a little bit higher in what cloud and cloud deployment, both inside and outside of the cloud, and that's gonna give us an advantage within other products maybe, or that's gonna attract more users to Ubuntu and Ubuntu Server in general.
And since you work on power management, how can the community help you? What do you need from the community, and where do they go to help you with this project?
Well, there's many ways to help. This is open source, so every someone that would like to contribute could actually create more monitors to actually determine different parts of that we haven't covered within a server that need monitoring, and these people can create more monitors. We actually need people who is a bit more knowledgeable in hardware power management to actually create these scripts that allow us to reduce power consumption in certain bits of hardware that we probably don't have access to or we don't know anything about, and that's mainly it. And then with the future goals, we actually gonna have our session tomorrow, Thursday, in PowerNap, and it's when we are gonna define what things we would need help with for the next cycle.
So people can follow along with that particular blueprint, and what mailing list or IRC channel can people go to say, hey, I'm here and I want to help?
Well, we don't actually have our own mailing list, but we can use, usually use Ubuntu Server for everything, and it's the place where they can find us, either me or Dustin, as he's also part of the project.
Well, Andres, thank you so much for stopping by and talking to me about the server and for power management and all those cool things that you guys are going to be working on coming up in the next cycle. Really appreciate it, and thanks for your time.